guys, it's Kayla and Mark Allen. We like to travel a lot, especially to Disney World. Follow along on our journey as we give you tips and tricks to help you create your own ever after.
It's happening.
It's happening. I'm so I guess I should look at the actual camera. Hi guys. We are so excited to share our big news. We have been waiting a long time to share this news. I've also been very nervous to share this news.
My heart is pounding right now.
But yeah, we are moving to Orlando.
And less.
Oh, I'm so excited. So sorry. It's all the emotions and it's just super exciting. So welcome. Hi. If you're new here, we're Kayla and Mark Allen. If you're not new here, welcome back. Thanks for joining in on what's going to be a fun hot mess of a little live stream as we try to get through this. But we're moving. It's
Everyone guessed it.
I mean, yeah, it's probably not that big of a surprise.
Yeah.
If you've been following us for any period of time, you probably guessed that that's what was coming. But it's official. It's happening in a few weeks.
Yes. Which is crazy to think about. I still don't think it's actually sunk in for me yet.
It hits me in phases. And I think it's probably because I've been handling more of the stuff.
Sorry, for those of you
if you didn't get
late,
to see, we'll show you again. I made these today.
Literally an hour ago.
So we made our cute little buttons.
Yep. So yeah, it's happening.
Yeah. Okay.
It's really been a big process.
Yes.
Both financially in terms of getting a new job for me, figuring out there's a lot of pieces to moving across the country.
So as some background information, whatever, Mark Allen and I got married in 2016.
Yep.
And then we went to Disney for our belated honeymoon in 2017. And that was my first time at Disney as an adult and his first time at Disney ever. And it was kind of our first vacation, as a couple. And obviously it was quite magical and amazing and we loved it. And after that trip, there was a period of time where we were like, okay, well, that was fun. Well, then we were like, man, we kind of want to go back.
I was not hooked the first time.
He wasn't hooked. But then as time went on, he was like, I kind of want to do that again. That was kind of fun. So then we started researching. And that was when we happened upon Disney YouTube. And we got super into the Disney YouTube, way into it, way down that rabbit hole. And we just loved watching vloggers and Disney vlogs and things like that. And we learned, as I'm sure all of you do, much. I'm somebody that when I go into something, I'm 180%. And so I was just constantly researching and I learned so much and I wanted a way to talk to people about it. And so that was when we kind of decided that we wanted to start a YouTube channel. And so we started our YouTube channel in 2019.
Yeah. No, January 2019.
Oh, you're right. January 2019. And then we had, I think, 3 trips that we went on that year.
Yeah, May, October, and New Year's 2019.
Yes. And through that, we continued to work or build a community with a lot of other people in the Disney community. And we really loved it. And that was kind of when we were I could live here. I could live in Orlando. Yeah. This could be fun. And it was kind of just it would be fun, but it was never a serious thing at that point.
Yeah.
Then things started to grow more. And through when COVID happened, that was when I opened my Etsy shop. which I don't really do anymore because your girl doesn't have time.
It's a lot of work.
That it's a lot of work, but that's another story. So just as things continue to grow, we were like, it became more and more of a like, man, like I feel like this is like we're gonna get down there, like we're gonna get to a point where we need to move down there. And so yeah, things did continue to grow. They took off. I was able to quit my full-time job at the bridal shop and go full-time with our business. And shortly, like literally like that month that I quit, I became a travel consultant with Goofy Getaways. And I have been doing that now for
over a year.
It was a year last July, I think. Or last July was when I started last year.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been doing that for a little over a year, and things have continued to exponentially grow to now we're just kind of like at that point where we like, no, like this needs to happen. So we made the decision at the beginning of this year that by the end of the year, we were going to move to Orlando. Had no idea how it was going to happen. We had no money saved up. We had no plan. We were just like, I'm just going to speak it into the universe and it's going to happen.
Yep.
And, you know, through that, things just kind of fell into place at the right time.
Yeah.
And so now it's actually happening.
Yep.
And we could not be more thrilled.
Yeah. So a big portion of it was how do I want to phrase this? A big piece of the puzzle, if you will, was me finding a new job. Because we currently rent our apartment, and we knew that we wanted to rent when we move. Mm-hmm. We didn't have the finances to buy anything and put money down for down payment. And that way too, we wanted to rent so that we're only stuck there for 12 months or however long our lease would be. And so we knew that buying was not an option. And so apartment was the best route for us. So a lot of apartments in Orlando would not look at us unless I had income lined up.
Yep.
But a lot of employers in Florida wouldn't look at me or even call me back or email me back, Lord forbid, if I didn't have a Florida address. And so it was this big catch-22.
And the reason why it was so important for him why it is so important for him is because like I make okay-ish money. I have made probably enough to replace like my part-time income, but my income alone, because we are entrepreneurs and it is my own business, it's still a little unsteady. Yeah. And so we don't rely on my income, we rely on his income. Right. And so he has to be like, I was like, we can only have one person with a risky job at a time. Yeah. I am the risky, you cannot have the risky job. So he needed like an actual job. Yeah.
But
not that much, an actual job. But,
so happy to say I started my new job this week.
Yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday. And so there's been a lot of change around that, but it was, I'm not gonna lie, it was very hard. I started applying for remote. I'm working from home and started applying for remote jobs. We knew that was probably going to be the easiest thing to do to make that transition. And that way I could go ahead and start that and not have to worry about starting a new job, moving to a new state, moving into a new apartment all at once. At least with my job, I'll be settled in a little bit, kind of get rooted in that a little bit so that it's
most of the way through training.
Exactly. And so, but the whole job aspect for me was hard. I started applying for remote jobs in September?
Probably.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I applied mostly through like Indeed, things like that. But I applied for probably like 300-ish jobs.
Yeah.
And I heard back from
I don't know, like
less than 10 for sure. And I think I did 5 interviews for different companies.
The reason why it's so hard is everyone wants to work from home right now. And so a lot of these jobs that he was applying for had thousands of applicants. Like literally the one that he ended up getting, they said that they had like over 700 people
700
had
applicants
applied for your position.
For my position that I ended up getting.
So it was a really big like blessing that he got that, and it all happened just like in the perfect, like it could not have been the more perfect timing.
Right. And honestly, the most perfect job for me because I'm kind of in the same industry. You may not know, I worked for a credit union for 6 years before. And I basically, I guess I can tell people now about my old job.
I wouldn't say what it is.
Well, yeah, but basically I worked
in
a branch for a credit union. So I did tellering, accounts, things like that basically came in the door. And so, long story short, so I'm kind of in the same industry, but I'm working.
Bob and Kelly, how do you make it go on the screen?
You hit show.
Yes, that is how you know it's meant to be.
Yeah. And so it was literally perfect. I had a total of 4 interviews, and they basically moved me along to the next step, one right after another. So they knew pretty much as soon as they saw my resume that they wanted to hire me. So I don't have to talk to a lot of people, which is great.
Because it's not sales. It's more like, I want to call it data analysis, but it's not really that. But it's like kind of in that realm.
Yeah.
So, which I think is nice because bouncing off of that, when we were looking for apartments, Orlando is really expensive. It's very expensive. And we currently live in a 2-bedroom townhome, which honestly is a little too much space for us.
Yeah.
And so we knew we were looking for a 1-bedroom. However, we both work from home. And so it was really important for us to each have a dedicated office area that could be somewhat separated. So we were ideally looking for something that had a designated dining area because we don't have a kitchen table. We don't do that. So I was
right here.
Yeah, we eat on this couch. And so we needed like that, and then we needed either like enough space in a bedroom, or we needed like a little like extra like bonus space or whatever. So we looked at so many apartments. And the other thing is like proximity, because which we'll get into that here in a little bit as to like what living in Orlando is going to look like as far as like for you guys. But we ended up finding one that had, they call it a den, but it basically looks like a little office.
Yeah.
It's like a little bonus space. So it's like an office, and then it has a dedicated dining area. So we can get a curtain for the den so that we can kind of close me off. But the nice thing is so circling back to why I was sharing that, his is not customer service, like sales calls or whatever, but I do also. So he'll have Zoom meetings and things, and I will obviously be talking to clients and whatever, but we're not both going to be on the phone constantly, like in the same room. So
so that'll be nice. But yeah, my job is, I mean, literally like banker's hours, everything like that. So it's nice because we are going to be so close to the parks. I mean, when I get off work, we can easily just say that we can go to Disney Springs or one of the parks if we can get a reservation. But
I will fight you guys until my dying day. The reservation system's not that bad. But anyways, we're not talking about that today. So, that being so, Mark Allen got his job. He accepted
so that was step one.
That was what, the week before Thanksgiving? Yeah, it was the Friday. It was the Friday before the week before Thanksgiving.
So
then the week before Thanksgiving, we were like, okay, we have the job. We need to get the apartment nailed down. We're like, oh my gosh, this is going to be so scary. I've been hearing all this stuff about how a lot of places have been having like 6-month waiting lists, and we can't wait that long because we want to move in January and blah, blah. And literally, we had it narrowed down. We had a list of. It's true. There are some of them. So we had a list of 20 apartments that we were like, we could do this. We had a list of about 5 that we were like, these are the ones we really want. And then we had one that we were like, this is my dream.
Yeah.
I want this one. So we called that one first. And at first she was like, oh yeah, I'll send you the stuff. And then the phone got it the call died. We got disconnected. I don't know what happened. And I was like, well, that was weird. Well, we'll call some of the other ones. So we called 2 or 3 of the other ones. One of them told us that they had a 9-month waiting list. And I was like, well, that's not it.
Yeah.
And then the other one, I just don't think had anything. Or no, they did have something available, which we were like, okay, yeah. So then we called the one that we really wanted back again a few minutes later. And she was like, oh yeah, we have that unit available. And I was like, you're joking. Because online it didn't say that they had one available for January. And I was like, okay, so what do we need to do? Because I would like to rent that apart. I would like that one, please. And it happened almost a little too easily. And I was like, is this a little sus?
Honest to God, I legitimately question if we were getting scammed.
We're not. It's fine.
Yeah.
They're very legit. They have amazing reviews. It's fine. We're not.
But they were
scammed.
like, we want the cashier's check for the move-in fee. And
it
I
was
was
just one of those, I think, because it, again, a lot of things have happened in the exact time that they've needed to happen throughout this whole process.
But it's also been everything we wanted. I got the job that I really wanted.
Mm-hmm.
When everyone else, literally everyone else that I actually had interviews for, all said no.
Yeah.
The one that I really wanted out of any of the ones that I interviewed for was the one I ended up getting.
Sit back a little bit because we're blurry. Because we're not in the same plane.
Sorry.
They can't see our faces.
So anyway, but the apartment that we got was number 1 on our list.
Yeah, it's perfect. It really honestly feels a lot like our current apartment if you were to smash it all into one level.
Yeah.
Except instead of a second bedroom, we have that little den office area, which is really all I need. And so I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Are we a little crazy because we're moving into this place sight unseen? Maybe, but
we haven't signed a lease yet.
We haven't signed anything yet. So I guess if worse comes to worse.
So hopefully this live stream doesn't come to
no, it'll be fine.
We've
seen many pictures and videos and it'll be fine. But I am really, really excited. So really all that's left now is we are just trying to get things like our U-Haul reserved and figure out all those details. And then we are going to drive 19 hours across the country with my cat who gets anxiety, panic attacks in the car.
Where is that little monster?
So that is going to be a fun time. Would love any of your tips on driving with cats who hate the car. Yeah, so we're doing that. My parents are going with us. We're kind of making a little mini trip out of it because my parents haven't been to Disney with us.
Yeah. So we're basically.
we went when I was little, but I was a little kid, but they haven't been with us since we've been adults. And so we're going to do a little taste of that. We're really excited about that. And then we're going to be there.
I can't I still can't believe it because we've literally been talking about this for
years,
5 years, 6 years, ever since we first went.
So then I guess what does this mean? Cool, you guys are moving, but what does that even mean? So what that actually means is some really great things for you guys. If you exclusively follow us on YouTube, I have been atrociously horrible at getting these videos out. Part of it is because I'm literally doing 6 jobs right now, between working part-time at a bridal shop and the travel agency and the YouTube and the Etsy and there's a lot of things going on. And so some of those things are getting shed away when we move. So I will be having more time to actually make videos and get them out in a more timely manner to where the videos are more relevant. So I do still have a couple more videos from our February trip, but I'm almost done, I promise.
So moral of the story, more up-to-date vlogs, not from a year ago.
Yes. No, my goal is to we're going to film a vlog and then it will get out in the next couple days after that, not weeks after that, depending on what it is, of course. I also really want to make it a point to, I'm not going to be like the first person there for every single thing that ever happens ever at Disney, but I do want to be able to cover more things like more tips and tricks on how to use Genie Plus, because there have been a lot of updates and changes to that. I want to be able to, like, when the festivals start, be able
Bye,
to...
Bob and Kelly.
Bye, guys. I want to be able to cover, like, the festivals at the beginning of the festival so that you can maybe have some good tips and tricks for when you take your trips. Or, I mean, really, like, the goal and the dream would be that I would get my media pass so that I can go to some of those, like, opening events. But that's my pipe dream right now. But that's, like, part of why we're wanting to move down there, is because living here, that's not going to be a reality. Living there, it could be more of a reality.
Well, and
maybe.
and I think, like, especially for learning new things, like, we've only used Genie Plus once, actually, in the park. You've played around with it a lot more than obviously what I have, but
yeah, I think it's one of those, like, I've played around with it. I've watched so many videos. I've done a lot of research on Genie Plus, and so, like, I know Genie Plus, especially because I have to spend a lot of my time explaining it to clients. But being able to actually be there and give you guys real world examples, is going to be so helpful.
Yeah.
To you and me.
Yeah. Well, and your clients too.
Yes.
And so,
yeah.
I think all in all, I think having more up-to-date content, being able, and obviously financially, it's a huge thing for us too.
That is honestly,
it's going to be so much cheaper,
which is weird to say. So it's going to be a little bit of an adjustment.
Yeah.
Just because, like, our living expenses are going to be pretty drastically different than they are here.
Yeah.
Especially with new job and just different housing and all that stuff. But we were spending anywhere from $3,000 to $6,000 to $9,000 a year on Disney trips.
Yeah.
Just so that we could, I mean, mainly because we want to go to Disney, but also, like, so that we could get content. And there's a lot of other things that we would like to do. Like, we want to travel out of the country and we want to go other places. But the thing is, we just haven't had money to do that because there's a lot of pressure to go on the Disney trips because for job and whatever. And so actually living there and being able to cover things, like, without having such a financial burden other than purchasing our annual passes every year, which whatever, we've been doing that anyway, is going to open up hopefully a lot more opportunity for us to do other things, like a Disney cruise maybe, or
Disneyland,
or go to Africa, or, like, I don't know, just like, I want to go to Africa, but anyways, like, just being able to actually go do other things. So that is another huge reason why we are wanting to do that. But yeah, that's kind of what's ahead. Obviously, it's going to take some time for us to get settled and adjusted. I have always lived in Wichita, other than, like, when I lived in Sterling, which is 45 minutes from here. So it's going to be a pretty big adjustment for me. I've never, like, lived that far away from my family because my entire family lives here.
Yeah.
His family is kind of all over the country. So
yeah.
I mean, it'll be an adjustment.
It'll be an adjustment
too, but he's done it before.
Yeah. I mean, I'm doing it now. All of my family is all out of state. And so, I mean, I'm kind of, like, as much as I hate to say it, I'm used to going long spurts of years without seeing my family.
Yeah.
As much as that sucks, but
again, a lot of it's just been hard because we spend a lot of our PTO and things on Disney trips. And so hopefully now we will have some more opportunities to do some of those.
Yep.
We'll see what the future holds. But really, yeah, it is going to be our biggest adventure yet. That is not an exaggeration. Not even a little bit.
It's also, like, it's also incredibly nerve-wracking to you. I mean, it's a huge life decision.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is not something that we take lightly, and like I know from a external view, if you don't know us very well, like it can be like, oh, they're moving to Disney. Wow, they're just doing this so they can be content creators and blah 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 blah. And like, yes, that is why we're doing it at the very root of it, but or I guess that's not even the root of it.
No,
that's more the superficial reason of doing it. There's
that's a
lot
benefit
more.
of it.
That's a benefit. There's a lot more to it, and I think we're just excited to kind of, I don't know, like go stake out our claim and do our own thing and like make these adult decisions to go do things like on our own.
Well, yeah, and
be big kids and like yeah, it's exciting.
I mean, I'm going to be 30 in March, which I feel like I'm going to have like an existential midlife crisis when I turn 30. Because I'm going to be old. I'm going to be an old man. This beard's going to start turning gray.
But what I do want to hear from you guys, because obviously a lot, like our videos are for you and to help you. I would love to know like what types of content, like what kinds of things you do want to see more of on our channel. Because we're going to be there. It's going to be a lot easier for us to do those things. And I have some like fun little other types of fun videos that we're going to do too. So that, and I would also love to know any of your tips.
Jen said, wait until I hit 50.
I would also love to know okay, so the other reason why I couldn't wait any longer, because originally we had this whole plan when we weren't going to say anything until we actually moved, but like moving has been consuming like my every waking thought and moment for the past like, I don't know, month, and it's been really hard to post content and not talk about it.
Well, and I think the other thing too is like some of our
tips. I need tips. I need help.
we haven't been telling a lot of people about this, and so it's been pent up for so long, and so
yeah, and so I want to be able to like show you guys the tornado that is my office right now, because I'm in the process of packing up my office. And
normally we would do these live streams in our studio, but our studio is basically non-existent.
No, it's just like boxes and stuff everywhere. It's like,
which we wanted to pack that up first because we can always use this space to record a video or do a live stream or something like this. And there's a lot of equipment up there, very fragile, expensive equipment. So you wanted to go ahead and start pack that stuff well. And we knew that obviously with all of Kayla's craft stuff, all of that stuff is in there too.
When you guys move, like if you guys have ever moved, are you the kind of person that has everything packed and ready to go before moving day? Or are you the person that has all the boxes, like you're still packing on moving day? Because I am the person that I will have everything packed and ready to go before moving day.
Well,
really, I'm going to have it all done before Christmas, because between Christmas and when we're moving, there's too much happening. And so I'm like, we're going to have everything ready to go before Christmas. That way.
And that's also tricky, because obviously the holidays are all in there. And so that's a very busy time for us, anybody. And
I don't want to be
let alone packing. But I think it's also different because this is obviously the furthest that
this is also why we have not put up a Christmas tree, and we are not putting up a Christmas tree this year, because
I'm very sad about that.
I'm
very sad about that.
To put a Christmas tree. Right now. So yeah.
But I mean, I've moved from when I was in middle school. Was I still in middle school?
I don't know.
Yeah, middle school. I moved from Iowa to Arizona, but I had like my bedroom. Like I didn't have to worry about a lot of the other stuff. My mom and her
ex-boyfriend.
Yes. At the time. Sorry, that's a long story.
Ex-boyfriend. That's the word. There you go.
So they took care of all of that. And then I moved from Arizona to Kansas for college, but I just loaded everything in my car. I didn't have to worry about any furniture or anything like that. And so,
well, the nice thing is we really don't, we kind of practice a little bit more of a minimalistic lifestyle. So we don't really have a lot, and we purge stuff all of the time. So that does help.
Yeah.
Especially because it's just us and my parents that will be moving us, and our apartment will be like on a second floor. So that'll be fun. Luckily, they have a washer and dryer, and so we get to sell our washer and dryer, and we don't have to move with that. So that was the only piece of furniture that I was like, oh God.
Which, I mean, a washer and dryer are not that
but just
heavy.
us and moving it up a flight of stairs.
Your dad and I would have been able to do it.
Okay.
But
that stresses me out. But
so anyway, so if you've just joined, we're moving to Orlando.
Yeah, we're moving to Orlando in several weeks. Next month. January. Next month as in January. I'm already in the phase that it's December. I know it's not. We still got a couple more days, but in January, we're moving to Orlando.
And we're so excited to see.
Then I'm going to be a real Disney vlogger.
Yep. And I think another cool benefit about this is we've really made such a community of what YouTube is and what YouTube means.
I'm so excited to meet a lot of the people that we have met online that we haven't gotten to see meet in person, just because like trips don't align and stuff. Yeah. But even like those of you that we have met before, I'm excited to get to come pop over to the park and hang out with you when you guys are on your trips. And there are some people in Orlando that we're excited to kind of connect with more. And it's going to be really good.
I would put it this way. There's definitely a lot more, the pros outweigh the cons.
Yeah. It's obviously expensive. It's a little stressful, but overall, I think it's going to be really beneficial for our business, really beneficial for us as we are adults growing into ourselves. And yeah, I think it's going to be great.
But it's also nerve-wracking. It's I mean,
Kayla hasn't been sleeping very well lately, but it's okay. Stressful. I feel like that's just moving in general though. So,
I mean, yeah.
But for real, like the part I am most stressed about is the cat. He gets literal panic attacks. Yeah. He's pants, and I fear like he's going to have a heart attack whenever we go in the car for about 30 seconds. And so we got to drive 19 hours.
Over 2 days.
We are doing it over 2 days. But like, I still need to go to the vet and talk to them to be like, what are my quote unquote sedation options? Because I feel like that's what we're going to have to do. But if you guys have other tips, we did just get him a plastic crate and he loves it. He sleeps in it all the time, which is fantastic.
Jen, were you asking about the cat? Is that what you were asking about?
I don't know, but we got a plastic crate. He has already been sleeping in it. He loves it. So I do think that that's going to help.
Yeah, I think. Okay. Yeah. That's what she was asking about.
Okay. Yeah. So, I did tell Mark Allen that we need to try like driving around with him some short distances in that crate, just so that he can, maybe try to get a little acclimated to the car. But
yeah, that part's not going to be fun.
Yeah. Anytime that we've had him in the car, it sucks because he honestly does better not in a crate. Anytime we'd have him in a carrier, he freaks out. He's one of those cats. He doesn't like to be, I think he's mildly claustrophobic. Like he doesn't like to be restricted. Like he likes to go under the blankets at night. But then as soon as like he starts to feel like restricted at all, he freaks out.
Yeah.
Like absolutely flips out. And so I don't know. We'll see what happens. I figure he eventually just has to give up and go to sleep, right?
Yeah.
Like
let's hope. But the other thing too is like the hotel, staying in a hotel with him too.
That part I'm not worried about because we can lock him in the bathroom if we really need to.
But we've already bought like they make these travel litter boxes.
Well, because his litter box is absolutely ginormous.
I mean, he's a big cat.
Like, it is ridiculously ginormous, and I'm not hauling that into a hotel room.
Right. But they make, basically, it's a travel litter box. We got it on, I think, Amazon, right? Or Chewy.
I think we got it at Chewy.
No, we got the travel litter box on Amazon, but it basically has a little zipper. So you just put the litter in there, zip it up, and call it a day.
Yeah.
So that'll be nice, especially for the hotel, carrying that in there.
And he won't eat. I know he won't eat. So we're gonna get some of those little squeezy treats. I mean, we'll have food.
They're it's like Go-Gurt.
Cats don't eat when they're stressed. And so I'm going to have some of those little squeezy treats so that hopefully I can at least get them to eat a little bit of something. Right. But yeah, so that's the part I'm probably the most stressed about. The rest of it, I'm very organized, and so I'm really not worried about the moving aspect of things.
Yeah.
Other than I need to start walking up and down them stairs, carrying boxes, building my endurance, because usually whenever we move, we have a whole team of people, and we only have 4 of us. So yeah, that'll be fun. But yeah, any other moving tips?
If you're going to be in Orlando,
any other moving tips that you have, I would love to know.
If you're going to be in Orlando in January and want to help us move.
No joke.
we might be able to afford some pizza.
Yeah. Maybe we gonna be a little broke for a little bit.
It's okay.
Moving is also very expensive. So
yeah. So yeah, that's the big news. We're moving.
Yep. If you guys have questions about whatever about moving, if you have questions about
if you
let us know,
because there was a lot of questions that we had about how do you make this happen, and I know there's a lot of content out there.
I think eventually once we actually move and get settled, I would like to do an actual sit down video where we talk about a little more in depth of
how we did it.
Just in case you are somebody who is looking to move to Orlando, because it's no joke and it takes a lot of work and it takes a lot of time, and you have to be prepared for that, and you have to be flexible, and that is not always the easiest thing. And
obviously I think for a lot of people it's income related is the biggest hurdle for people. And so like I said earlier, the biggest thing that I knew going into this was that I need a remote job to make that transition as easily as possible. But there are certain, and we'll talk more about this in future videos, but keep in mind, if you're wanting to move to Florida or move states regardless, and you're wanting a remote job, some employers have state restrictions. I actually tried to stay on with my previous employer and go remote with them. That way I wouldn't have to worry about a new job. I knew their systems. I knew people. I had those connections. But Florida is quote unquote a red listed state for them. And a lot of it has to do with state taxes and things like that. But so yeah, I mean, there can be some weird quirks to kind of work through if you are looking for a remote job in that aspect. But to me, that's just what made the most sense.
And thank you if you are one of those people that we have been messaging incessantly with questions.
Yeah.
Thank you. We appreciate you.
Yes. Some of you people in here already knew that this was coming.
Thanks for keeping our secret.
Yeah.
But now the cat's out of the bag, so now we can talk about it. And I feel better that it's not a secret anymore.
But I don't think, just because of how stressful that situation is going to be, we're not doing any sort of moving vlog or anything like that.
No, I think we'll do some documenting through Instagram. I will be posting some stuff on Instagram. So if you aren't already following me there, make sure you are go follow me. I know I have links for that in the description. Because that'll be where it's just going to be easier for me to post stuff more on the spurt, in the moment. I think it's too much to try and make a video while trying to move and deal with all that. So like I said, we'll probably do a video afterwards where we will talk a little more in depth about like what that whole process was. But
Right.
Yep. Yeah, I would say after this February trip series, we may halt on videos until we actually get there. But I think one of our first videos will be about Festival of the Arts. So
thanks, Lisa.
If you have stuff from Festival of the Arts that you want to see, let me know.
That's also why you report. What was I trying to say? That's also why you were posting about Festival of the Arts the other day. Yesterday
on Instagram. Well, it was because I was finding pictures and I got excited and I was like,
oh,
guys, this festival's so cool.
But we'll also be there for the festival.
That's what I just said.
Oh, sorry.
That's
anyway.
Literally what I was just telling them, is that we will be there for the festival, and that will probably be one of our
this is
videos.
This is the dynamic of our relationship in real life. She says something and I'm like, and then I repeat it and I'm like, what did you just say?
Yeah. Anyways, I feel like now we're just rambling, but thank you guys so much for your support, because honestly, this move would not be happening without you. So seriously, thank you. Like, thank you so much.
Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching the videos, commenting, interacting with us.
Yeah,
all of it helps.
We do this because of you guys, and it's so rewarding, and we've made so many close friends, and it's just,
thanks, Melissa.
it's so great, and we are very excited to see where the next few years take us. Yeah, so if you guys want to get involved, I guess, keep watching our videos, keep sharing our content, keep engaging with us. But also too, like, if you're planning Disney trips, do remember I am a travel consultant. It does not cost you anything extra to book your trip with me. Basically, you're helping support a small business, but also I'm just there as your backup hands for whatever you don't want to handle.
Yep.
Whether you're going to Disney for your first time, I will walk you through every single step of the process. If you've been a million times, I can still help you with whatever.
It's true.
Or you can just book through me, and then you can do the rest of it yourself if you want. That's the nice thing about it. So if you want more information about that, I'd be happy to chat more. There's a link in the description to my new client form, and then I'll reach out to you with more info.
Yep.
But that is definitely the biggest help if you would like to help financially. So, but yeah, I think that's it.
It's happening.
Yep. All right. Well, I hope you guys have a wonderful evening, and that is pretty much it. That's all we have for you guys today.
I can't wait to wear these.
Now we're like actually creating our ever after, but now
this is backwards.
Oh no. Why won't it focus?
There we go.
There you go. Now go create your ever after.
Okay, bye.